What's good, y'all? Welcome back. So I've been running a high dose of anabolics lately, and it's got me thinking and kind of reminding me, your dose is your dose. It doesn't matter what anybody else is running. You need to run the dose to get the results that you're looking for. Now, there's obviously a lot of nuance to this, and you have to be smart and practical. But, if you're taking a medication and one person has to take a normal size, let's say Percocet, for example, one pill to get pain relief, and then the next person gets sick off that, so they have to take a half a pill to get the same pain relief. You're not going to like look at one or the other person and be like, oh, you're like stupid, you're an idiot, like you're crazy. You would just be like, oh, that's what they need. One person responds different. That's how it is with gears. You start off with the average dosing of where you are and like your advancement. So average would be like, let's say first cycle, 500 milligrams of test. That's pretty standard. If you're getting like crazy side effects or you're not feeling anything at all, you might need to upper or lower that dose. For cycle 2, 3, 4, and however many more you do, if your dosages are getting higher than what the average person runs for cycle number 2 or 3 or whatever it is that you're on, that's just when you have to sit back and make sure you really need that dosage. That's when you sit back and you look and see, is my nutrition good? Is my training good? Everything's optimized, right? And then if everything is like dead on, you just need a little bit higher dose. It's really not that big of a deal. I notice like taller people in general, like with bigger frames, they have to run more gear than the other person, even if it's like the similar muscularity. And then also you have to keep in mind, you're not going to look like the dose until you've been on that dose for a while. So it's like, people don't really say that to me now, but if you like look back at my old videos of when I'm running like 800 milligrams of equipoise or something, I look natty. But if I just started and I'm only running 800 milligrams of equipoise for like the first week, I'm not going to look like I run a gram a gear until I've done a gram a gear for a long period of time. So when people online are like making fun of somebody because they're running a high dose and they don't look like they run a high dose, well, yeah, if it's the first time they've ran that high of a dose, they're not going to look like that until they've been running it for, 3, 4 months and maybe even multiple cycles of that. So the point is, don't compare yourself to other people. If you're running a way higher dose than the average person does at your level, there's statistically the high chance that you are fucking up somewhere along the lines. But there is also a chance that you could just be the outlier. Every study, every graph, it's made of a line, but the line is made up of little dots on both sides of it to get the average. You could just be the outlier that's way out on the right. And let's say you can't dial in your life at 100% like a bodybuilder. You can only go about 80%. But you want to make up for that gap by increasing the dosage. That's totally fine. You're an adult as long as you know that you are risking your health to get the gains that you could be if you were dialed in and a little less lazy. That's fine. Like, who cares what you do? And again, that just goes back to knowing the average dose and the average risk of each dose that you run. This is a little bit of a rant, but I just kind of want the mindset to change in the industry and like the average everyday person. If you guys need help deciding anything I've talked about in the video, like dosages or where to start or what your level is, anything like that, I do offer coaching, so you can email me or give me an Instagram DM. It's in the description. If y'all are liking this kind of stuff and you're interested in more, subscribe and like. Peace.